Hey everybody, what's going on? Jeff Rieger, another episode of the Daily Ticket. It's Monday, it's the 1st, it's April, it's 2024, and I'm not one of those guys to try to get you with an April Fool's gag. I'm not. I mean, I thought about it, but I couldn't think of one that you would buy, and then I thought you'd get pissed, and then I thought you wouldn't watch or listen anymore, so I just decided not to do it. I've always wanted to get someone with an April Fool's joke. It's never really worked, though. Ever. I remember one time, this is years ago, so probably 2003. I'm new in the radio business. I'm the producer of Doug Karsh. You know, Karsh does middays now in 97 won the ticket. It was April Fool's Day. And I go to Doug, I'm like, we should try to fool people that Barry Sanders is coming back to the Lions. Like, it was only 2 years after he retired, maybe 3 years. And I don't think he was totally with the idea. But I called Tony Ortiz, who now works for WWJ News Radio 950. Back then, Tony was the reporter for the Lions. And I had Tony, he was going to call in from Allen Park, really sell that Barry's coming back. I had other people that were going to call in saying they saw Barry in the facility. They saw Barry at the airport. Close personal friends of Barry are confirming that he's coming back to Detroit. It would have killed. It would have been so good. And then at the end of the day, we talked to our boss at the time, and he said, no, can't do it. Don't do it. Didn't do it. Crushed me. I put in so much effort that day. I thought I was going to make a name for myself back then. Would you have bought it, I wonder? I wonder, do people buy April Fool's jokes? I remember one time the Golf Channel said Tiger Woods was retiring. Nobody bought that. I know every year you try. Every year radio outlets, news and TV outlets try. But it never really works. I think people are well aware of the fact that it's April Fool's. And I was going to try to fool my wife. I was. But she's listening right now. And so is my daughter. But like, I don't know. I could go clean the shower right now and say like, honey, I've cleaned the shower. There's no way in hell she would have believed that. She would have been like, April Fool's, right? But if I actually clean the shower, she might actually like me for a day. Maybe I'll try that. They should be rather proud of me. I don't have any April Fool's jokes for you. I'm not going to try to get you on a gag. I do hope, though, that you hold on until the end of the episode because I got a conundrum. And I want your take on it. I'm not going to do comments today. Instead, I'm going to tell you a little story that happened to me on Friday. It involves another media member, and I'm curious if I was in the wrong because I got put on blast. I want to tell you the story. So we'll do that if you'd be kind enough to hang out until the entirety of this episode. As you can see, my daughter Olive is right there. Say hello, Olive. Okay. And that is her doll. All right.
It's pronounced doll, not Dale.
Thank you. All right. Rainbow High, in case you want to buy one for your kid. Oh, look, my dog's here, too. Man, oh, man, I can't do a podcast to say my... There you go. There's the dog. Okay, can you guys now leave me alone? Thank you. Okay. Now my daughter's singing Britney Spears. Okay, anyway, let's move on. But please, watch the entirety of this podcast. Because at the end, I need your thoughts. You need to hit me up in the comment section. Was I in the wrong? Did I deserve what I got? And did I respond accordingly? We'll do that at the end of this podcast. However, the Tigers are 3-0. The Tigers are undefeated. The Tigers pull out the brooms and they sweep the White Sox in the south side of Chicago. And this is no April Fool's joke, people. This is reality. And this is meaningful, considering it's been a long time since the Tigers have started a season well. You know the old saying, it annoys me, but it's absolutely true. You can't win a pennant in April, but you sure in the hell can lose one. And the Tigers last year, you can make the case, lost out on winning the division in April. They started so poorly. The year before was the same deal. The year before that, same deal. Great to see A.J. Hinch and the Tigers get off to a really good start. And I know the White Sox are bad, but I don't care. Now the team hops on a plane. They're going to take on the Mets for 3 games starting tonight, and then they come home for opening day against the A's. The A's are lousy. a chance to really get some W's and start this thing off on the right track. But let's talk about what we know already. Let's talk about what you like, what you don't like, and what you love. We talked about the last podcast on Friday, Tarek Skubal. Skubal was amazing. That was on Thursday. Did not allow one stinking run to the White Sox all game long through 6 innings. Topped out at like 97 miles per hour. Got a ton of swing and misses. Really said to the baseball world, I'm here, baby. I can win the Cy Young. It was a fantastic effort. Tigers won that game 1-0. Then they take the off day on Friday. And by the way, I hate the off day after the start of baseball season. You finally get the juices going again. You're like, oh, yeah, baseball. And then you got to like spend the entire off day the next day doing something other than watching baseball. Why? Because it's stupid. I don't know why they do that. Like, come on. Kill the off day. Let's continue to play. Please? Thank you. So Friday they play or don't play. And then Saturday they play an afternoon game. And they end up winning 7-6. And Kenta Maeda wasn't very good at all. Gave up 6 runs. Couple bombs as well. But the Tigers offense found a way to come back. And they end up winning in extra innings. And it was a really good win for the Tigers, who at one point trailed that game by 3 runs. After the 4th inning, they trailed 6-3. They come back and they win it in extra innings. Carson Kelly, RBI single, scoring Mark Canha. But in that game, Riley Green homered. In that game, Mark Canha homered. In that game, the Tigers bullpen was lights out, with the exception of Alex Lang. Alex Lang came in for a third of an inning and walked the bases loaded. Could not control himself at all. Ended up with 3 walks, 23 pitches, just 8 of them were strikes. Alex Lang really struggled, but Will Vest picked him up. Will Vest picked him up, and there was a massive play, too, because Zach McKinstry was playing third base, and it was bases loaded, and it was 1 out, and Will Vest induced a hard grounder to third base that McKinstry was able to field, throw to first. It was a double play. Tigers got out of the inning, and they ended up winning the thing in 7-6 in extra innings. By the way, great call by Jason Benetti, the new TV guy, because when McKinstry made that play, he yelled out, "Fire up, Chips!" And, of course, McKinstry went to Central Michigan. So all the CMU people in the house really enjoyed that. But that was a really nice win on Saturday. Down 3 runs. Parker Meadows also robbing a White Sox of a homer to make sure it wasn't a 4-run deficit. That was an impressive win. And they started off 2-0. Became the best Tigers team in the history of the game in the month of March. It's true. They became the first team ever to go 2-0 in March, simply because usually you don't start the season this early, or at least recently you have, but before, 10 years ago, you never started games in March, I feel. Or if you did, it was always like March 31st. So Saturday was a nice win. And then yesterday was equally as nice and equally as impressive, because I think a lot of people were wondering, after Kenta Maeda wasn't impressive at all, how would Jack Flaherty do? Jack Flaherty and Kenta Maeda are 2 guys that Scott Harris went out, targeted, brought in to be part of this rotation. And I think a lot of people looked at Flaherty's track record and said to themselves, this is a really bad signing. Jack Flaherty, before coming to Detroit last year, let me give you these stats because they're kind of horrifying, to tell you the truth. In 2023, that was last year, playing for a couple of different teams, Baltimore and St. Louis, he was atrocious. He had an ERA of 4.99, walking 4 or 5 guys a game. I mean, he wasn't very good at all. And the year before that, 2022, he had a 4.25 ERA. So when Scott Harris went out and got him, I thought to myself, okay, reclamation project, whatever. But man, he was good yesterday. He was really good against the White Sox. His final stat line was 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, 87 pitches, 57 were strikes. And If you looked at his outing, he threw 39 sliders, 32 fastballs, 9 curveballs, 4 changeups, 1 sinker, generated 13 whiffs with 9 sliders, 3 fastballs, and 1 sinker. The slider was dominant. That's a tweet from Evan Petzold, who does a hell of a job for the Free Press covering the Detroit Tigers. Look great. Now, will that continue? We hope so. But so far, at least for the starting pitchers that Scott Harris has brought in, Kenta Maeda wasn't very good at all. Tigers still find a way to win the ball game. Jack Flaherty was really, really impressive. The other thing, too, Tigers already got 4 home runs. Mark Canha has 1. Jake Rogers has 1. Riley Green has 1. And Kerry Carpenter has 1. Oh, and by the way, the Tigers have a new home run celebration. Remember last year, the home run celebration was putting on the Red Wing helmet, grabbing a stick, and shooting a baseball into a net, I believe, or maybe it was a puck. Every time a Tiger hit a home run, that's how they decided to do it. This year, they've changed things. As the story goes, apparently it's a brainchild of Spencer Torkelson. Now, a lot of people thought, like, of course, it's, I don't know, Little Caesars told them to do it. But no, apparently Torque was thinking, for some reason or another, about the Little Caesars logo. You know, Caesar, the Little Caesar, carrying the pizza with the spear through it. So now that's how the Tigers celebrate their homers. I don't know quite what to think of it. I got to be honest. I like that they hit homers. They've already hit 4 of them in 3 games to start the season. When last year they couldn't hit homers to save their lives. However, I don't know if I love the celebration. I don't know if we need homer celebrations. I'm not trying to say I don't like fun, because I do like fun, but I don't know if 3 pizzas with the spear through them, and they're not real pizzas, and then the player that hits the bomb walks around with the pizza spear. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. But if it does it for you, by all accounts, I hope you enjoy it. So the starting pitching, 2 out of the 3 games have been really good. Maeda was not good at all, but Flaherty and Scuba were really good. Here's the other thing. The bullpen's been damn near dominant. In 3 games, the Tigers bullpen has pitched 10 1/3 innings. They've given up 1 run. And that was yesterday. Andrew Chafin gave up a solo shot to DeLong. That's it. That's all. Doing a great job. So the pen looks dominant. The starting rotation, which we thought was going to be good, so far does look good. And the offense, I mean, they scored 1 in game 1. They scored 7 in game 2. They scored 3 yesterday. I still think they're going to need more offense. And I'm not even going to bring up the fact that Matt Chapman had a 5 RBI day, 2 homers, and a 2 RBI double on a Friday night for the Giants, the guy that I wanted the Tigers to go out and get. But in total fairness, because I believe in honesty, I do. So far, defensively, the third base position has been pretty good for the Tigers. Zach McKinstry made that really nice play on Saturday. And Gio Urshela made a really nice play yesterday. Also, great managing job by A.J. Hinch yesterday. Takes out Parker Meadows, a left-handed hitter, puts in Andy Ibanez, a right-handed hitter. Going against Tim Hill, the lefty reliever in the 9th inning. 2 on, 2 out. It was a 2-2 game, and Ibanez rips a single to left field, makes it 3-2. Tigers end up winning. So all in all, it's been pretty impressive. Now, will this last? I don't know. They take on the Mets next, and then they get the A's. This month of April, they got to play Tampa Bay. They got to play Minnesota 7 times, and they play the defending world champ Rangers as well. So all in all, how can you argue and not be happy about 3-0? Will it continue? I don't know, but this team does seem different, doesn't it? I don't do batting averages after just 3 games, but if you wanted me to, I could. Andy Ibanez is hitting .667. Kerry Carpenter is hitting .444. Mark Canha, he's a newcomer. He's been impressive. He's hitting .364. Gio Urshela, he's hitting .500. Javier Baez hitting .154. I don't know how anybody can not be happy about the start for the Detroit Tigers. Let me know what you think. Is this real, or is it just a nice start against the baseball team? Let me know. Comment section if you'd be so kind. All right. I got to give this to you too. I did tell you, please hang around And I had a conundrum that I got myself into. And I didn't realize I was getting myself into this. But you know what? I believe in full honesty. So instead of doing comments, I'm going to tell you this story. You need to tell me if I had this coming, okay? So I'm watching Yukon on Thursday night. Yukon is pretty damn impressive, are they not? I think they're going to win the whole entire thing for a second straight year. All they do is blow out teams. You saw them against Illinois over the weekend. It was a tie game, and then Yukon went on a 30-0 run. Like, holy cow, 30-0. So I'm watching them Thursday night. And I decided that Yukon might be able to beat the Pistons. So I decided to tweet out Yukon would beat the Pistons, one thing, question mark. Now, I don't really think that. But I saw an opportunity to point out how good Yukon is and how bad the Pistons are. And when you had 12 wins at the time, they did get a win on Friday night. I thought, listen, kind of a funny joke. Not my best work, but kind of a funny joke. And that was it. Got about 52 likes. No big deal. I didn't think anything of it. Thought it was a little trolly of a joke, without a doubt. And I moved on. Friday afternoon, taking a nap with my daughter. Got to go in to work on Friday. Good Friday, right? Wake up probably around 3:30. My phone blew up. And I'm like, what is all this Twitter traffic? I didn't tweet anything. What's going on in the last 45 minutes that people are going after me? Well, in response to my Yukon would beat the Pistons tweet, Mark Champion, the voice of the Detroit Pistons, decided to come after me. He's very upset at me. Mark Champion, I don't follow him. He doesn't follow me. Somehow my tweet made it on his timeline. He decided to react, which is totally fair. I mean, you don't like something or you love something, give your opinion. That's how the platform works. So I tweet out Yukon would beat the Pistons, one thing. Mark Champion then responds, Yukon would lose 100 out of 100. This is a moronic take that pops up too often when a pro team is having a bad season. The Pistons have 15 professional players. Yukon maybe has 2 or 3. Hope this is out of your system before hosting our pregame show. Now, first of all, yes, I was hosting the pregame show. I don't do the Pistons very often. Second of all, I'm allowed to joke when I want to joke. Third of all, Mark is not my boss, nor is he like my father. So, no, it wasn't out of my system. But more than anything else, I thought to myself, did I have this coming? And then after Mark tweeted, a lot of NBA people started tweeting at me, oh, this is stupid. I didn't really mean it, but you probably won't believe that because you probably think I did mean it. I would have loved to see it, okay? I would. So as soon as I saw that the voice of the Pistons tweeted at me, I decided I had to tweet back. Now, I was going to say, like, Mark, you can't take a joke. You watch one every night because the Pistons are a joke. I was going to tweet that, but I thought that was way too harsh, right? So I decided to tweet. So many tweets were running through my mind. I mean, Mark points out they had 15 professional players. What, 15 professional players? They got 13 wins. So almost 1 pro for each win? I was going to tweet that and decided not to. Like, so many thoughts were going through my mind. I decided to be classy, though. So I quote tweeted his tweet, and I said, probably got to lighten up a bit, Mark, but I'd pay to see that matchup. Talk to you tonight. And that was the end of the back and forth with me and Mark Champion. Did I have that coming to me? Is it my fault? If it is, please let me know. I understand he's the voice of the Pistons, but I'm also a radio host that has the right to my opinion. So I think you probably agree with me too, by the way. Not that the Pistons would lose to Yukon, but that the Pistons have been such a colossal embarrassment that, yes, every now and then you got to make fun of them. Every now and then you probably got to take a shot. Every now and then maybe you got to troll a little bit. And that's what I was doing. I also did Pistons Weekly that night as well. I handled myself very professionally. I'm open to your comments, please. Did I have that coming? Was that over the line for me? If you say yes, I mean, I respect your opinion. I truly have been wondering about it, though. Should I not have tweeted that? I thought it was funny. And no, I don't think the Pistons would lose to Yukon. But I do think if you gave me 17, I take the Huskies and feel pretty good about that bet. In fact, I think the worst team in the NBA should be forced to play the team that wins it all in March Madness. In this instance, I think it's going to be the Pistons and, of course, the Yukon. I would love to see that. In all reality, yes, the Pistons blow them out. But I wanted to get your take. Did I deserve that? You might say yes. You might say no. I'm an open book. I thought it was a funny story. I didn't mean to get anybody mad. I thought people would laugh and move on with their day. Apparently not. So that's going to do it for the Daily Ticket. We'll catch you tomorrow on a Tuesday. What do you think of the Tigers? 3-0. Take on the Mets tonight. Let's make it 4-0. Oh, by the way, the Red Wings also play tonight. They're in Tampa Bay. The Red Wings, man. I mean, it was nice they find a way to get a point against the Panthers. The Panthers have really been struggling, but my God, you couldn't find a way to win in a shootout to get 2 points and only be 1 point out of a playoff spot. They're 2 points out of a playoff spot now, but now they trail Philly because Washington's in the 3 spot in the Metro. So the Red Wings have another massive game tonight against red-hot Tampa Bay. I've almost stopped caring. I really have. I just kind of want the season to be over. It's been agonizing from where they were to where they are now. Listen, I would love to make the playoffs, but I'm not holding my breath. So hit me up in the comment section. I gave you my Yukon would take down the Pistons story. I talked about the Tigers. And please rate and review and follow the Daily Ticket and all that kind of good jazz. Thank you, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow. Have a good Monday. See ya. Oh, by the way, don't fall for anybody's jokes. Make sure nobody dupes you because people will be trying. Goodbye.